Buoyed by his re-election in May, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is continuing his crackdown on elements of Turkey's civil society who he accuses of threatening democracy. Analysts with the Social Policy, Gender Identity and Sexual Orientation Studies Association, commonly known as SPOD, say they are facing a financial battle for survival due to a decline in international support. The reductions are impacting its services like telephone helplines and legal and psychological support for people who identify as LGBTQ.
Since the elections, the percentage of the accepted applications is decreasing. It is the data, it is not an evaluation. It is almost impossible to continue do all these activities based on voluntariness. So these fundings are important for organizations to survive.
Observers say Erdogan's re-election is seeing a further tightening of the Turkish leaders' control on dissent, which they say can only fuel growing questions among donors about whether it's worth funding Turkish civil society organizations.
There's a decline, hesitation by the international donors targeting Turkey, and this has been intensified, especially after elections.
Domestic financial support is also drying up after Turkish philanthropist Osman Kavala was given a life sentence for seeking to overthrow the government after being convicted of backing the 2013 nationwide Gezi protests against Erdogan's policies. The ruling was condemned by both Washington and the European Court of Human Rights. But Erdogan defends Kavala's jailing, accusing civil society groups like the ones Kavala supports of conspiring with international donors to undermine his rule.
There is a person who financed the terrorists in the Gezi events. Now Kavala is behind bars. And who is behind him? The famous Hungarian Jew, Soros.
Hungarian-American philanthropist George Soros, whose Open Society Foundations was once a significant supporter of Turkey's civil society until it pulled out in 2018, blaming government pressure. Activists warn another major but anonymous European funder to Turkey is set to pull out at the end of the year.
The Open Society is no longer funding in Turkey, and I think it was around $2 million for civil society and an extra $2 million funding for refugee organizations. And then a very special organization, the Crest Foundation from US, also stopped funding because it was targeted by the pro-government press severely.
Crest Foundation officials did not respond to VOA's request for comment, while donors who are switching their aid to other causes asked not to be identified due to the sensitivity of the subject. Dorian Jones, VOA News, Istanbul.